Hi everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Prog Rock Digital. Thank you very much for downloading and streaming. Thank you for visiting progrockdigital.com, and please keep those emails coming through progrockdigital@gmail.com. Now today I'm chatting with Jimmy Clark, Drumtech to Lars Ulrich of Metallica. I caught up with Jimmy whilst he was on vacation in St. Thomas with his wife a few weeks back, just prior to the St. Louis show. Now, we had a great chat, interesting conversation about his day-to-day, tasks working for the Metallica organisation. Great chat with Jimmy. Hopefully we can chat with him soon. We're back just after this quick break. And yeah, keep progging, guys. Chat to you very, very soon. On vacation, I take it?
Yeah, I brought the wife down to St. Thomas. I had a week off. I just got married this past March, and I haven't had a chance to take her anywhere. So
Oh,
we have a condo
congratulations.
down here. Yeah, thank you very much. It's a beautiful place down here. The weather's been great. I'm burnt to a crisp, so it's all good.
So let me ask you, how long have you been in the Metallica organization for, and how did you go about getting the gig? Pardon the pun.
Yeah, I'm always asked that. Well, I'm going on my 10th year being with them. And in my industry, it really comes down to word of mouth and who you've known and met on the way up.
Yeah.
That's how I got part of the Metallica organization, from people who are in the organization who I've known over the years. And they just followed me, and they knew what I was doing, because I've been with a lot of different acts as either a carpenter, a drum tech, a rigger, stage manager. So I've had a lot of hats I've worn. So when the opportunity came up to be in Metallica, when the thing came up that they needed drum tech, the people that were involved reached out to me, and the rest is history.
So tell me, well, run us through a day in the life of Jimmy Clark out on the road with Metallica. I'm assuming it's fairly stressful, and you've got to meet certain deadlines and specifications and so forth. How does that all work?
Well, let me tell you. All right, first of all, can you hear me okay? Because I've got the water in the background. Is it making a lot of background noise?
No, man, I can definitely hear you, man. Thank you.
Okay, good. You know what? Metallica organization is a very well-oiled machine, and it's not stressful at all. I think we're down to doing 25 shows a year now on the starting of the 72 seasons. As you know, we have a huge 40-yard by 40-yard stage now, and we do 2 shows per city or country, wherever we're in.
Yep.
And it's just something you adapt to. And, after about a week of doing it, found my grounding, and I just get it done. So it's really, Metallica crew, for one, is probably the best crew in the world for anybody. Everybody in their department is the top in the industry. So that makes it easy. You don't have any dead weight. So we move our gear and everything quickly, efficiently, and safely.
Yep.
So yeah, that's pretty much it. It's not stressful for me at all. I've enjoyed this gig from the day I got it till when we're in St. Louis next week and I hear him play that first note again. I love Metallica's music, and I enjoy them. I haven't got tired of them. And I look forward to every night when they play, to make sure that Lars is having a great night and he's comfortable and having a great show.
I would say just prior to the gig or leading up to the gig, you yourself get the goosebumps and get the excitement running through the veins and so forth. just run us through that. I mean, that must be exciting in itself, just hearing the crowd, knowing that you're part of this machine, knowing that Lars is your boss, if you like, in inverted commas, and you just have to get this show on the road and going, and it's going to be right.
Yeah, I mean, like I used to really get we're moving inside here real quick. I used to get when I first got the gig, because when I realized, oh my God, now I work for Metallica and I work for like the biggest metal drummer in the world. And
Yeah.
I mean, to me, Lars is like I might as well be working for John Bonham or Keith Moon or any of those guys I grew up. He's iconic.
Yeah.
So in the beginning, yeah, it was a little rattling until I found out his face expressions and what I knew he needed. And now it's to the point where I'm just so comfortable with him. I just get up there and do my gig, as long as I know I'm pretty confident in myself that I have everything in order. You know, the worst thing I have before a show to do is maybe have to go take a leak before the show, and it's a long way to the bathroom.
So I take
I
it
mean,
you.
that's the worst of my worries right there, especially
uh,
at my age.
it does help, man, when you relieve yourself, man. It's fantastic.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You don't want to full load when you're. I got a lot to do for 2 hours.
No, that's right. That's right. So you're essentially setting up 2 or 3 kits, because I mean you haven't come to Australia yet, so I haven't had the visual of that as yet. But yeah, is it 2 or 3 or
It's four.
4 kits? Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
He,
So
he
in
plays
set.
4 songs per because we're in the round and it's such a large stage. Lars has 4 different points of playing, so everybody gets to see him close up. It's well thought out, actually.
So does that mean you get paid 4 times the amount?
No, I actually get paid 4 times less.
That I mean, so how long would it take you to set those kits up?
Oh, it takes me 2 hours. I have a day prior to the actual show. Well, actually, I have 2 days prior because the band comes in usually the day before, and they
Yeah.
they they just kind of run the stage for an hour just to make sure everything's good. So usually on that Wednesday, because we usually play on Friday and Sunday. On Wednesday, I have a whole day to break down the drums, change heads, clean them, and get them together. And I break down his kits down to the shells and re-wax them, oil them every show because
Yeah.
I want them to be almost like brand new out of the box. So I have a whole day to do that, clean the cymbals, and I haven't. And actually, I brought on an assistant to help me. His name is Steve Ogan. He's been very helpful, and mostly I brought him in because of loadout, because I couldn't get loadout done in a timely manner because the stage is coming down
Mm.
and they're taking pieces away, they're taking the steps away, and I'm like, hey, slow down here, guys. I got to get the drums off the stage.
Yep.
So bringing Steve in helped me to go from breaking down the kit at the end of the show for 2 hours down to 40 minutes. Now we have it done in the truck and all good.
So are you, I guess, the person there that ensures that Lars has his towel, his sticks, whilst the show's running, obviously, and you've obviously got access to his mic and sorry, his headphones and so forth. Is that all part of your? Is that part of what Jimmy does?
No, not everything. Like, we have our wardrobe girl, Foster. She takes care of his wardrobe needs and his ears and stuff like that.
Okay.
We all work together kind of to do it. Like I lay out all the towels and drinks in the beginning, and Foster and me both kind of follow him. And whenever we see he needs a drink, one or the other will run up and give him one. And so, like I said, he's got 2 towels up there per drum set, and that's all he really needs for 4 songs.
Mm.
And then when he comes off the stage, every couple of songs. He goes into his hut, and Foster tends to him, whatever he needs, changes the shirts, needs anything. And I just pretty much make sure his drums are up and ready to go, because the way we do it now,
Mm.
we have to, the drums have to be like, all the cymbal stands have to be folded down to fit underneath the stage.
Okay.
It's just design. To me, it's a design flaw, but it's the way the set is designed.
Yeah.
So when the door opens up, me and a couple of the carpenters have to put the cymbal stands in the right places, plus the overhead mics now we just added. And then I have to sit down really quick and look at everything and make sure everything's in place, get off, and then they bring the drum set up.
So Jimmy, I guess in terms of on the night at the gigs, you're setting up, you're ready to go. Has there been a last minute issue where you've had to, think out of the square, out of the box, and basically get it done?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. The only issue we've ever had is sometimes the elevator not opening in time. Like we just did Power Trip out in Indigo, California.
Yeah, in the desert.
And if you're not, yeah, it was a metal festival with the likes of like Guns N' Roses and Judas Priest and AC/DC and Tool. And we had what we call our snake pit out there.
Mm.
And the snake pit has 2 elevators. So we used 3 drum sets. We had one main stage and we had 2 out front. And unfortunately, and the same thing happened in Download last year. The one kit just didn't open up in time. So that's the only issue we've had with this tour is technical problems with the elevators.
Yep. Okay.
But other than that, playing wise, things breaking, no. I mean, like I said, his kit is set up every day, like brand new out of the box. And he's only got to get through 4 songs at any given kit. So nothing really breaks.
Yeah, it does minimize yes, of course.
Right.
I guess as a drum tech, you're there, you're ensuring and making sure that, everything's running right on the night as well during the gig. So having 4 kits obviously minimizes what happens on stage and any issues happening on stage. I would say your biggest nightmare maybe would be if it's a kick drum that, a skin that breaks. I mean, snare drums are probably a lot easier to sort of maneuver and move around. But if it's kick drum, what happens then?
Well, hopefully he can play with his left foot. Like another thing. I mean, like Lars uses felt beaters, so he's really not going to go through a bass drum head because of he using a felt beater. Now, if he used a wood beater or a heavy leather beater or something, I'd be concerned. But it's another thing. I change his bass drum heads every 6 months.
Whoa.
And as many shows as we're doing, I just don't see him breaking a bass drum unless he just, jumped up and down and, broke it. And same thing with the snare drum heads or the tom heads.
Mm.
Now, we did have an issue this beginning of the tour where we got a bad batch of heads.
Oh.
Whereas Lars uses these heads called controlled sound, and the dot is on the bottom head of the drum.
Yep.
And somehow or another, the glue was not holding and the dot was falling off, which totally changed the sound of the drum.
Mm.
So that was an issue for a little bit, but we fixed that. But that's the only thing that's been going up with this tour is the elevators once in a while and the drum heads. But for the past couple of months now, everything's been kind of moving along, except for Power Trip recently.
Mm. So how many more shows this year?
I got when me and my wife leave here Saturday, next weekend, we have 2 in St. Louis, and then the following weekend 2 in Detroit, and then we're done for the year.
Okay. And any whispers about Metallica in Australia? in next year or anything like that?
Not, nothing next year. I'm hearing maybe the year after that, and
Yeah.
believe me, we want to come.
Yeah.
We're sad. We're sad that we didn't come in 2019, because we do want to get down there. I love Australia. I've been there a few times. I've even bungee jumped,
Oh, wow.
and yeah, over there in Auckland, I did. I don't know if they're there anymore. They were called Bungee Brothers. And, it
Mm.
was a big crane. It took you up the top over some water. And
Yeah, yeah.
actually, I didn't really jump because I was scared shitless, and I got pushed off.
Oh, I don't know what's worse. Oh,
Yeah, I know. Well, like I say, I did it then. But yeah, no, we'll see what happens in that. I'm not at liberty to say
of course not.
what
No, and look,
Metallica's schedule to be.
I am,
I just know.
yeah,
Go ahead.
yeah. No, there's an excitement here, and I guess I am, sounding somewhat facetious as well with my question, but um, it's. Uh, have you ever been to a Aussie rules match or game, football that we call it here? Which
No, I
no, okay,
don't.
man.
But I
So
have a friend.
yeah,
I have a friend over there, and I've got quite a few Australian friends over there who want to, take me around. And when last time I was there, I was there with Taylor Swift years ago.
mm,
And prior to that, and I don't know if anybody knows about this, but I used to play drums with Debbie Harry, and we did a major tour back in like 89, 90, and from Brisbane to Perth, and did the
wow,
whole thing. Yeah. And I was there for like a month. And best thing I remember about it was in Adelaide at wineries was like fabulous. Or no, Melbourne. Is it Melbourne?
uh, well, yeah,
I think it's
that's one of.
Melbourne.
So yeah, so you got the wineries in Adelaide, South Australia. Yeah, is that where
Right.
you played at the wineries or no?
No, no, we didn't play. I just on my day off, I would go out there
Ah,
and
okay, yeah. So that was South Australia. So you would have gone to the
right.
Barossa Valley, but the
Yeah,
Barossa,
it was fun.
yeah, man.
I drank a lot.
So
That's where I discovered port.
yeah, yeah, of course, man. Nice and sweet.
I could.
So it's interesting that you've brought this up. So you yourself obviously were in a metal band, if you like, prior to this, and weren't you? I mean, prior to working with some of the big names, you had your own outfit, didn't you?
Not so much metal. I played for a bunch of people. I was kind of a hired gun. I played with let's see, who did I play with there? Oh yeah, I played with like Joan Jett and the Blackhearts, and like I said, played with Debbie Harry. I played with a Finnish artist named Michael Monroe,
Mm.
and then I lived like 22 years in Nashville, so I got to play with a bunch of the country stars down there. But as far as metal, I haven't really had a metal band
Or a
that I was
rock
playing in.
outfit or a hard
Yeah,
rock outfit, yeah? No?
yeah, that would have been the Michael Monroe thing, and that
Okay.
was a band called Demolition 23.
Yes,
Hmm?
okay. Did you record with that band?
Oh yeah. There's a couple albums. There's an album out called Demolition 23. Yeah, in fact, it just got reissued and it just came out again. In fact, there was a Demolition 23 reunion just 2 weeks ago that unfortunately I couldn't attend
Yeah.
because of my commitment to Metallica. But they did it over in Finland, and it went really well. But yeah, it's a great record. We're kind of like if you like the Ramones, we're kind of like a Finnish version of the
Mm,
Ramones.
fantastic.
Yeah, Michael Monroe, one of the best singers I ever worked with in my life. He's got his own act called Michael Monroe. He's the Michael Monroe Band.
Yeah.
He came from a band called Hanoi Rocks, who back in the day
Yes, of course,
was,
yes.
yeah. So it was, and the whole thing with
Vince Neil. Yeah,
Vince Neil, and yeah, so
yeah,
you know that whole story.
yeah, wow. So, I assume it helps, having that drumming background when it comes to the likes of working with Lars or working for
Uh,
Lars.
Surprisingly, there are drum techs that know nothing about playing drums, but they're just good techs.
Yeah,
But most of the guys I I have met are drummers, or, they can do it, they can play, but there are some out there that just know how to take care of drums.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've got, on this tour, we've got Pantera, Mammoth, and we've got Five Fingers Death Punch out
Mm.
with us. And each one of their drummers too.
Mm. Which is my next question. Do you get to hang out with a lot of the artists that you're working with on any given night, or is it essentially, you basically do what you do, pack down, and then head off to your sleeping quarters? I mean, how does that work?
You know what? I get to hang out with, you know, like Charlie from, Pantera and Five Fingers Death Punch and Garrett from Mammoth.
Yeah.
When they're doing their sound check, we all, get together and chat, see how everybody's doing and all that. But actually hang, no, because, by the time we're done, they might be gone already.
Mm.
Because this tour, we're all flying, and most of those guys are on a bus doing a bus thing. And like I said, we only have them one night a piece. It's
Yep.
not like they're there Friday night and they stay till Sunday. Because like I said, Pantera is Friday, Five Fingers is Sunday. So
Yep.
yeah, we just I basically just talked to the drummers, got to hang out with them, see how they're doing. If they need anything, I always offer, if anything you guys need, let me know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Great guys, all of them. This is one of my favorite tours we've ever done because I get to see three superstar drummers.
Mm.
Charlie Bananas from Anthrax, and then there's Charlie. I think you pronounce Charlie's name Engine,
Mm.
EGEN from Five Fingers Death
Yep.
Punch, and then Garrett Whitford from Mammoth. They're all three the best at what they do. Killer players.
So, I guess the thing that really interests me, Jimmy, is that, you know, at the end of the day, and I guess you did touch on before the fact that, relationships, and I'm paraphrasing, relationships, being at the right place at the right time, things just working, the way they worked for you, in order for you to, work for Metallica. I got to ask you, man, when you were growing up as a young kid, as a teenager, had this ever sort of crossed your mind that you would be working with such a massive organization and working directly with Lars? I mean, is that
Absolutely not.
on the cards? No.
Absolutely not, dude. The fact that I count my blessings every day. The fact that I am in this position with, biggest band in the world, and nice guys too. Just they're cool people.
Yeah.
Lars is great, and I'm 66 years old. I should not be in the music business anymore, but the fact that I am, and I'm here and thriving, and there's no end in sight for right now. Blessed every day. I'm thankful every single day.
Thank you so much for partaking in this interview. It's been an absolute pleasure to have you on the Prog Rock Digital Podcast, Jimmy.
Thank you. So you know how to get a hold of me. And if you say we're coming your way, reach out.